just decide on what's true or not. But tune in, y'all. I got two special guests here. I got Unc Phil in the building. Shout out, bro. I got
What's going on? How y'all feeling, brothers and sisters?
Brother Derek.
So we're gonna get this set up. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about consciousness. Screw down a little bit, brother.
Alright.
You don't mind me getting in here. Phil, you in there? You ready?
But yeah, it's basically a open discussion, open topics. We just chilling. Shit.
So the first topic we're gonna talk about, you know, how a lot of these grown ass people be indoctrinating the minds of these little bitty kids, you know, calling them little folks and little lord, little folks and little lord, and gang this and gang that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even understand the path of destruction that y'all getting ready to lead these kids down, you know what I'm saying? That's indoctrinating these little kids to think that the gang culture and the gang lifestyle is cool and it's acceptive, and y'all just don't even know y'all raising these kids, you know what I'm saying, to be victim to the system that's designed to destroy them either physically and mentally.
I got a take on that. So what about the kids that feel like they ain't got no choice, like this all around them? And you know what I'm saying? What about the kids that ain't got no role models or no parents or no heroes? What you got to say about that?
For the kids that don't have a role model or a hero, you know what I'm saying? It's other choices out there. You know, they just have to have someone, you know, to spark that light on the inside. Like, at the end of the day, I didn't have nobody like me in my ear when I was a kid or when, you know, I was younger. But eventually, you know, somebody that came along my path and they planted seeds. Now, as a kid, you know, it was people, you know, who tried to lead me in a righteous direction, you know. And not even only that, you know, it was things, you know, that my mom, she told me, you know, about life that I just didn't take her word, you know, at face value. You know, so I ended up, you know, bumping my head a few times. But eventually, you know, I grasped the message. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's okay. I feel you on that.
And like the universe, bro, is designed, you know, for everything, you know, to balance out. You know, so even at the moments, you know what I'm saying, of me, you know, not having a positive mindset in the midst of me being negative, you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, I didn't always know right from wrong. You know, I had to learn from experience. And in the midst of me learning, you know, even from the negative, you know what I'm saying, it helped me become, you know, this positive being, you know. So that's why, you know,
You
like
basically evolving.
pretty much.
Okay, shit, that's what's up. But the objective of this video, right, is to let this message get out and reach other brothers so they can evolve.
Yeah.
So, shit, yeah. I feel like, what I'm gonna say. Now, you know what? That's go change it into a whole different topic. We go hit that later. But I just feel like this, you know, this very key. You know what I'm saying? I also want to talk about that Will Smith situation again, because you know that shit happened like a week ago, but they still bringing it up and still talking on it. That's how I know it's an agenda behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that agenda is for I believe they creating like agenda war, like what me and bro was telling you.
Agenda war.
And I think it's an attack on the figure of speech, man. What y'all think about that?
Well, more so, you know, I mean, I really don't know how to feel about that, because, like, at the end of the day, you know, Will did, you know, laugh at the little joke. It was funny, you know, to Jada gave him the eye. And then he got up, you know, I don't know if he felt some type of way, because Jada felt some type of way, but he slapped him. Either way it go, Chris Rock, he finna get rich off of it.
Yeah.
Either way.
He gonna check a bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
or him doing stand-up, whatever it is.
I mean, he already hired the pretty much the best lawyer, the best law firm in the state of New York.
So far as him getting the bag, what's the propaganda? The propaganda behind that? Let's let the people know, because we know, but everybody else, let's let them see where we at. Like,
I mean, the freedom of speech is already being censored. You know what I'm saying? For those who have Facebook profiles, Instagram accounts, Twitter, you name it. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much sign, agreement, to even binding you to use that platform. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they not knowledgeable of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Just a prime example. Our rights was infringed on by Facebook and Instagram, which now Facebook acquired Instagram, but it's still the same corporation.
So, in other words, they already took our freedom of speech when we agreed to the terms on these social media platforms.
Yeah, so using these social media platforms, there are certain words or certain things that we can't say, that we can't type, you know what I'm saying, that we can't post because it goes against their community agreements, their community guidelines.
And then when you think about it, when you see who we offending on who the person saying that we can't say nothing, then y'all will see who the enemy is.
I mean, technically, they blocked my profile for using the word nigga, Nigga.
Wow.
And that was after I used.
As much as they let go through and let slide.
Yeah. So that was after the fact, that I used the word nigger, Nigger, as in terms of, the way that a white person, a Caucasian, one of our European counterparts, would use it as a racial slur, in the form of me using it as a racial slur, but not necessarily to the degree of me using it at a black person, but in the instance of hypothetically speaking of a
term of endearment.
Yeah,
But at the same time, though, when you do the etymology of the word nigga, it go back to naga, or
yeah. But see, even look, they gave me a warning with nigger, Nigger. They blocked the profile for Nigga and blocked me for a couple of days for using Negro.
Damn.
I Real Loud was blocked for using the term Negro. The term Negro went against their community standards.
Wow.
Hey,
but it's cool as long as I want to push dope, as long as I'm gonna talk about gang-gangness, as long as I'm showing people fighting and killing each other, all of that's cool. You could post it. They'll just blur it out and say, "Oh, this might be offensive or sensitive to certain viewers." Graphic viewer discretion is advised. So they saying you can see this, but to your own discretion, if you really want to see this, you know what I'm saying? But
that's fucked up, ain't it?
But they didn't show with all type of gore, it's taking place with violence and glorifying it through the music, allowing things to be where they pretty much instigate the whole process, such as things like Facebook Live, where people are going live or on all other social platforms, and they have completely, would crash out where they either getting shot at or they doing a shooting, and it was like, okay.
Damn.
Other circumstances as far as the whole.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Now, I was just gonna say, touching back on what bro was saying, like how they allow a lot of these artists and shit to talk about all this shit in the music, even though people, supposed to be conscious and responsible of their own ability and actions. Y'all big influencers, and y'all know y'all not doing this shit, but y'all still rapping about it. So, like, come on, man. Like, y'all really selling these babies out because they really weaponizing music, like for real.
Yeah,
for
music been, you know, a big weapon, you know.
And not to cut you off, but because I was just taking off from what you were saying, like how they allow us to listen and all these rappers to promote this and do this and that, but when we trying to do some intellectual shit like this, we say certain words, they'll block us.
Yeah.
But, like that's, come on, man, that's.
Is at the end of the day, man, they want the cycle to be on repeat, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know, as far as people of our demographics, people of color, impoverished America, you know what I'm saying, the ghettos is what they label them, you know what I'm saying, they want these cycles, you know what I'm saying, to continue to repeat itself as a form of control. That's their way of not having to come in and eradicate us themselves, you know what I'm saying. If black people killing black people, then guess what? The KKK ain't got to come in no more with the white flags and the capes on the horseback. You know what I'm saying?
True,
they ain't got to come in and do it, because you got to understand. You feel me? The cycle that's going on in impoverished America. You know, black on black crime. What is it stimulated by? What's stimulating the black on black crime?
Shit, this music, a lot of
not just the music. The ideology, one's mindset, one's way of thinking. The ideology.
I want to say the ideology of a whole lot of things, such as the dealing. You said all of the unrighteous things that.
Well, even with the dealings and
the fruits of the spirit, and then to go further to say, in where you have circumstantial. Unfortunate circumstantial reasons as to why many people, as hence the saying, where you got, oh, I'm a product of my environment.
Okay, a product of the environment. What created the product of the environment? Impoverished. No matter where you go, every ghetto in America, they got violence. They got drugs. First and foremost, in every ghetto in America. There's drugs, right? Then not only do you have drugs, you have violence.
Drugs on the world. To a certain respect, drugs run the world.
Hey, you gotta understand the war on drugs on shit, but war on black man. Them declaring war on the black man. Guess what? Crack cocaine. Well, the proceeds from cocaine fuel, you know, the war on drugs. Proceeds from cocaine paid for Ronald Reagan administration to declare the war on drugs. It's this history.
And that's how you know Calm is a bitch, because they plotted all this shit in our communities and did all this, but that shit hitting in them dorms, them rich white kids and all them, they getting it. No, that fentanyl getting in their system too. Now they want to really crack down on it because that it's in their communities and shit now. Now this is what they don't want to talk about though.
Killing our children, or the Latino or Hispanic / Hispanic community. But when they hit their neighborhoods, that's when they decided,
hey, guess what? I had a conversation. I had a conversation with my mother just last week. And my mother, she say, you know what? My whole life, no matter what hood we lived in, I never seen an Arab come and purchase drugs from our community. She said, I seen a black man buy drugs in the black community. I seen a white man buy drugs in the black community. I seen the Mexicans buy drugs in the black community. I never seen an Arab, you know, come buy drugs in the black community.
That's why they so wealthy, because once they get the dollar, they send it back to their people and keep it within their circle. So
and more than that, just the fact that they are under religion and this Islamic doctrine, the fact that they go and they stand by those laws, the discipline that they have, the rhetoric and everything that it's being very devout and dedicated, you know, it gives them even reason, you know, because the majority, if not all of them, don't smoke, not drink.
True. But they own all the liquor stores.
They
own everything.
You know, oil. United Arab Emirates.
In other words,
Dubai.
people
Like that's why they Dubai has zero tolerance. You get caught with anything, a drop of alcohol, boy, it can be a half a blunt already rolled up. You know, man.
You say that's according to their religious, like their religious beliefs. That's what you say. Why they so disciplined like that?
Well, yeah.
So in that case, religion not bad as long as it's benefiting you. We need a religion that'll benefit the black man. Well, I ain't gonna say black because ain't nothing black but our hair.
Yeah,
But
ain't nothing black about me but my hair and my shoes.
we need a religion that'll benefit colored people.
I mean, you gotta understand, you feel me? We've been indoctrinated so much, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even many black people, like, everybody believe in God, but shit, ain't nobody really going to church these days.
Man, being real.
I want to talk about why it's a church on every corner in a black neighborhood, but yet it's so much evil in the community. I want to talk
Out
about
of
that.
all of the churches in the community, I challenge, you know what I'm saying, a brother to walk on the inside and see. A lot of churches not even full these days. A lot of congregations, you know, they barely surviving.
I mean,
You'll have the elders in the church, but the offsprings, other elders, and the offsprings out in the streets raising hell and causing chaos.
Sure.
I feel like certain people turning their back on the
From
churches
experience.
because if they feel like the certain pastors, well, a lot of pastors ain't selling shit but hope.
I mean, I don't see if some. Hey, this my thing. Regardless to the fact if the pastor's still selling drugs, if the pastor's selling, you know, a false sense of hope, you know, at the end of the day, you feel me? My purpose for going to church is for to hear the word. You feel me? Now, when I go to church, I sing in the choir. You know what I'm saying? But I'm there, you know what I'm saying, for the word and for the word to be broke down, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, I can interpret the word, you feel me? Because I can resonate with, you know, whatever passage, you know what I'm saying, that the pastor might be speaking about. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's just me personally, me speaking from experience, you know what I'm saying? Just like it have been times, you know, I done went to church or different people churches, you know what I'm saying, and there was chaos in the church amongst the people in the church, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people be like, oh, well, I don't go to church because of that pastor, or I don't go to church because such and such, and them don't like me, or I don't go to church because that church is one family and they family think they this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are always have their different reasons for why they won't go to church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of going to get the word of God. You know what I'm saying?
But you ain't gotta always go to church to get the word of God, and you ain't gotta go to church to prove that you love God. You know, I feel like it's within the heart space. Like, you ain't gotta go to church just to show you know God. You can read your Bible in a house and do all that stuff yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I feel like, in other words, churches ain't what they used to be, man. It ain't what it used to be. I'm not all churches, but a lot of them, like, it's just a business.
to some people. You know, I don't look at church like business as a business, even though I do know, you know, that all churches are 501c3s,
True.
Right.
which is non-for-profit organizations.
That's why they don't gotta pay taxes.
I understand that.
As long as they stick on this certain teaching and what they doing, you got to put that in there too, because that's what that mean. They got to stick on a certain style of code and ethics and teaching,
Yeah.
I mean,
and they don't pay taxes.
that part I know because it's a non-for-profit organization.
True.
So, you know, with the UCC code, you know, they don't have to. But I don't see church, you know, as a bad thing, because I know, you know, that the building, you know,
how many churches you know during this pandemic that actually got out here and went and tried to help some people and do some shit or let some people in? How many churches you know that did that?
I mean, I know a few churches, you know, that distribute, you know, like canned goods and things of that nature.
That's my
as far
thing.
as, like,
a few churches. It's a church on every corner in a black neighborhood. Why only a few?
I mean, I can't speak for that.
Well, I would say because growing up again.
You can speak a little bit louder, bro.
I say going back to the fact that growing up in the church and being a preacher's kid, and being the pastor, it was a whole lot to behold and a lot of circumstances because very much so, man. It's more churches in the city of Chicago. Like
Yeah.
it's on the west side and the south side, both of you see them, where it literally be one. I mean, one right. You
They
know,
be
one
blocks
a
away,
corner,
corners away.
and
And then-
corners away, and I'm talking about two on one side, one across the street, further down. You know. A yard or two, which I'm like, for real.
And
like,
then
you go on, like you said, to the next block is another church. It's like,
And then you go to a different community, and it where it's less churches and it's less violence.
I mean, you got to understand, in those different communities, most of those people are actually rooted in church, active in church, you know what I'm saying? And not even only that, they practicing, you know, good behavioral habits. So,
I say that's true to a certain extent.
I mean, for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Okay, prime example. It's just like us coming from the hood. All right, we know what it's like in the hood, you know what I'm saying? But just because we come from the hood, do we got to act like we from the hood?
No, that's true. Yeah.
So, for one, that's a choice. And then not even only that, you know what I'm saying? Even though we come from the hood, we want better, right?
Yeah.
So because we want better, what did we choose to do? We all chose to relocate in suburbs where a lot of the stuff that's going on in the hoods ain't going on where we live, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we have the mindset to do it, it's others out there that got the mindset to do the same, or they just don't even make that choice. It's some people, you know, they mindset in the cycle of, or check this scenario out. I've been in the projects my whole life. The projects are all I know. So I'm going to raise my kids in these projects.
because it is a project.
Now,
It was anyway.
I mean, I understand that it's a project, but how many people had a mindset to, I'm comfortable here? Shit, my rent only $3.
The only
I'm
people
talking
that had
about
that
the fact
mindset
that
is
it
the
was
people that ain't been nowhere.
set
That's
as
all.
a project for it. The projects to not be manifested. It was exactly, and it was successful.
I mean, it was
That's why
designed for that purpose,
Right.
you know. But speaking of the individuals, you have some individuals that be like, well, shit, I want better. You know what I'm saying? I know it's more to life than this. I'm seeing it. I know it's out there, and I gotta go get it.
And going to go and get it, you had a lot of those who did so. A lot of those, and in our city specifically, where once they tore down all of the projects, we were forced to move into the inner neighborhoods. So as I gave a scenario and talking about, like just giving an example, one day we were all building, in the projects you have one building where you got, let's just say 3 buildings, and they're all about a block apart, and there's one on each block. One it just so happens to get
The resources of
boatload
money,
drugs.
or the bolo.
Another building, they get a boatload of guns, and then the last doesn't get anything. That was set up in getting where we know from, let me say first, where a lot of things were done intentionally and deliberately in our city.